Hello guys! Today I want to bring to you yet another Nekroz deck profile, and again it's Dogmatika Nekroz. I have been testing this deck a lot since this format started to be defined, or more or less defined because I'm seeing a couple of changes in this format. But all in all, this deck is performing abnormally well to my expectations. And I would like to show you my current builds, and yeah, I'll also talk about a couple of other variants that I'll be testing in future videos. So first of all, this variant I've been grinding on Duel Link book. I am right now at 670 rating. I didn't have enough motivation to pull myself further, but I was going there with this deck, with this specific version. I was hitting about 80% win rate with this. 80, I think it was even 85. But I am also testing a couple of other variants. Some of them kind of flopped. So my win rate on DB should be about 70% right now. Still here. Also, I went to locals with this. I got second place at locals, 5 rounds locals, 4-1. I could have won the game against a Dragonmaid player, but I unfortunately misplayed, and because I misplayed, I lost the game. I wasn't greedy enough. But stuff like that happens, and you can't always play around the lore par in the hand or whatever. Sometimes stuff's random. But anyways, without further ado, deck profile incoming. So, for our Nekroz ratios, 1 Trishula, standard, 2 Klaus, still standard, triple Reenac, even more standard, and triple Unicorn. This is all the Nekroz monsters we are running in this deck, and you don't need more. I was contemplating Gungnir because Gungnir is good against big monsters for Unicorn. So if they summon Levianeer, you can completely shut down Dragonlink. Dragonlink can't make much more than Seals pass against you, or yeah, Seals plus, if they are open super cracked, maybe a Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend Abyss. But they go so much neg and they lose so many resources doing these builds. And they lose all their follow-up too. Just a Unicorn Pass is pretty much a lot against that deck. And also, Unicorn Pass is insanely good against Dogmatika Invoked Shaddoll. Specifically the builds that focus more on the Shaddoll part, because you don't care about Winda at all. It's wonderful. I love this. Winda is FTK against any deck, but this deck you FTK Winda with. So this is all the Nekroz monsters. So now our Dogmatika monsters. 1 Ecclesia. We have been testing around with the ratios of the engine. We could play multiple Ecclesia, but the real thing that you want about the Dogmatika engine is getting to our second card of the engine, Maximus. And our secondary option is also Ecclesia, because first of all, there is an OTK with Ecclesia and Maximus, where if you summon Unicorn or Brio plus Trishula plus Ecclesia plus Maximus, you get to have exactly 8,000 damage, and that comes up a lot. So this OTK is kind of relevant, and that's why we're playing her. But we're also playing her in case you open her and Nadir, you still get to your Maximus, and if you don't get to your Maximus or you can't summon it, you instead can get your Dogmatika Punishment. And Dogmatika Punishment will help you survive a little longer with your Unicorn. All you need to do in this format right now is survive. You don't need to have an FTK board. You don't need your Vanity's Ruler. Vanity's Ruler is so bad because you invest so much just if you to like eat the 70 or 80% chance Dark Ruler because another card that we are playing exists in this format. While if you just like end on Unicorn, you're not investing much. Actually, you're usually if you summon Maximus Unicorn, you're ending with 5 cards in hand, and like 2 monsters on board, and you get to like sculpt your engine, and that's all you need. Like because this Unicorn will stop them a little more, and if they are stopped, then you can actually like if they're hindered, it's like with Orcust Striker. They did not FTK you with that board, but they like hindered you from like completely popping off and OTKing them. And because like Maximus plus plus punishment plus like Unicorn is pretty much hard to OTK through. This is all you need because then turn 3 you can Trish them, you can do another Maximus pop. You have so many ways to destroy a board. So that is it with the Dogmatika monsters. And of course the trap. We're also running another engine. We are running the righty and lefty driver engine. So you think now I'm building a needle fiber deck. I don't even play needle fiber in this deck. I'm actually using these because they have a very convenient level if lefty driver activates his effect, which makes him level 3 by the way. And they also like work even if you like brick on him in hand, and this makes the brick less bad. And there are some engines that have like really bad bricks, like the Deskbot engine. You cannot hard draw the Deskbot, and yeah, it kind of sucks. And the Diva engine, same thing. So this engine like can summon from hand, deck, graveyard. So if you droplets, which I would strongly recommend you to play droplets in this deck if you can afford it. You can actually send the lefty driver, and then you can summon righty driver and get it back from grave, which is pretty important. And also lefty driver has the second effect where he can banish himself to get yourself a righty driver to hand. And then because righty driver plus Maximus is level 9, you can then hard summon Trish. For our other monsters, we're running one Phantasme as our 40th card slot. I'm running 2 more in the side deck, just as a spoiler. He is excellent at sculpting your hand, and this entire deck is about drawing your broken spells and resolving them under Gamma. Because you got so many good spells that that your opponent is like forced to negate, that Gamma and of course Driver is worth playing. And also Driver is the only option that we're really summoning Brionac with in this build. But this is like the main way you like counterplay your opponent's hand traps. And also I forgot to mention about these. What I'm summoning with the lefty-righty driver engine is actually Herald of the Arclight. I'm going to special summon a Herald of the Arclight. And I'm going to just sit on it and resolve all my spells. And if they like throw a hand trap like a Droll or an Ash, I just negate it with Herald of the Arclight, and then I search 1, which is excellent. And it's really good pressure. You don't even need to play a gravity controller to link it away. So it's a better it's a Manju with pressure, and you can even resolve Herald of the Arclight under Unicorn, which is amazing. So this is all the monsters of the deck. Now to the spells. Of course we're running Nekroz Ritual spells. We're running 2 Kaleido, 1 Cycle, 1 Mirror. You do not need more, and I don't want to play more because I break on them. Then we're running our power spells, the best cards in the deck. Triple Prep. Excellent card in the grind game. Love to top deck it. Generally, this deck has a lot of good top decks, but Prep is one of the best. The second best, maybe also even tied for the best top deck, is this. Of course, this card is insane in this deck. This deck will get a couple changes to the extra deck. I will be mentioning them while I will cover it. And it will make this card even better to like resolve. But generally, Nadir Servant sets up Maximus, and that is the main important thing, and it also gives you removal going second. And of course, it's really, really good with your Heralds. If you summoned a Herald already, it's good with your Nekroz cards, it's good with your Gamma, whatever. Then Triple Pot of Prosperity. This is the most broken spell in Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly. Because this card gives you a really high chance at seeing your other good cards. And this includes also Dark Ruler no more. I would instead main deck Droplets, because Droplets helps you to play around broken other broken cards, or like cards that activate their effect as quick effects. Like if you want to negate Dweller, your Droplets is better. And Droplets can also send, if you activate a ritual spell and your opponent tries to negate the ritual spell, you can activate Droplets, send the ritual spell, and negate the monster that is negating the ritual spell. So that is really important. That's why I would main Droplets over the Dark Rulers, but I would still side the Dark Rulers. And then 2 more 1-ofs, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and 1 Called by the Broken. Called by the Grave is... I don't understand why this card is still limited. It should be banned. It's just so free. It's Interruption and also Hand Trap Negate. And it's always live. Like, literally always live. And it takes away their grind game. And Harpy's Feather Duster is generally against, like, back row decks. And you need a out to mine sometimes, because some people think it's a good idea to play Mystic Mine. So, this is the main deck. For the extra deck, this is actually a little bit more straightforward. Triple Herald of the Arclight. We go through these really quickly because we are summoning one off of the lefty-righty driver engine, and we are also sending one off of Unicore, Kaleido, and then we also send one off of Maximus. So it can be like that. You go through all 3 in 1 turn. So keep that in mind. And therefore, we also have to play Omega. Omega helps you to recycle them, and it also removes opponent's grind game if you really want to send them. Keep in mind he's not once per turn, so the correct play against Dragonlink is to first target the target for tidying, to shuffle back, and then you target the other card, like another grind game card of them, from them. Like, maybe if they summon Parlor back, you can actually shuffle back the second tidying that they're sending. So that is also a very good play that you can do with Omega. And yeah, as said, he's not once per turn, and that helps a lot. Those are our Synchro monsters. For our XYZs, this is the only one that I would actually keep of the XYZs, Zeus. And then also 1 Abyss Dweller and 1 Castell. I'm going to replace the Castell with Silent Honor Arc, because Silent Honor Arc cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and he would instead detach 1. And he's also an out to like monsters that do a lot of that have a lot of attack and are like he's an out to Mega Clops without activating Zeus, which is good. And yeah, Abyss Dweller is generally good against Prankids. Prankids is the only deck I have not played against yet. I've been facing against I am 7-1 against Dragonlink with this deck, and I am 8-0 against Shaddoll with this deck. And but against Prankids, I have not played yet, so this is probably the optimal pick against Prankids if it becomes meta. So maybe it's actually worth it to keep it in, but you don't summon your rank 4s too often. They are really a pivot points. One Titaniclad. This searches you Ecclesia 100% of the time. Um, or like 90% of the time. The other 10% you summon the Ecclesia and then search yourself another Maximus. Which is why we were playing 2 Maximus. Because you want the Maximus all the time. Here's your win condition. And also, of course, we're playing triple ints. This is our way to pop cards. People have been discussing 2 ints. I think 3 ints is safer to play, also because you have so much extra deck space. I mean, I could put an entire Zoodiac engine in here, and I even thought about playing an entire Zoodiac engine. And then I'm also playing a 12 target, but I'm never Kaleidoing for 12 because it's neg. I'm mainly playing him because he's big, and big is good for your good old punishment. And then for our link monsters, 1 Phoenix, 1 Gravity Controller, 1 Unicorn. Standard. You need this sometimes if you like bricked, but you got the lefty-righty engine, because then he sends the Herald to grave, and you get the search. But in general, he's not the best card in this deck. He's probably one of the worst that you have to play. Good. So this is the main deck and the extra deck. For our side deck, 1 Pankratrops, insane cards. He sometimes is an entire game plan in itself. The 2 other Phantasmae that I've been talking about, the 3 Lancea. I've been told that Droll is better, but what I mainly want to stop with Lancea is I want to stop Tribrigade, because Tribrigade is a problem matchup. It's a dice roll matchup for this deck, and the best way to stop Tribrigade is this card. You could also play Alpha, like the Tribrigade lists are. Alpha is insane against a lot of problem matchups. But yeah, in general, all of that is good like that. Also, for the extra deck, I forgot to mention, if you could cut any card, I would cut the Blue Eyes, Alternative Ultimate, for Totally Awesome. This allows your Nadir Servant to retrieve Nekroz Engine on its own, which is really good. Then triple Denko Sekka. We side out the lefty and righty driver engine for this, and in that case we side even more back row removal in. Denko Sekka just completely wrecks Shaddoll if they don't expect it. Because if they see like another like weird normal summon engine, they're not going to directly like flip the Schism, but instead like wait. And if they wait, then you just Denko Sekka them and they lose the game. Double Cosmic. Good removal card against Eldlich. And we're also playing another Dogmatika card in our side deck, Fleur de Lis. We're playing Fleur de Lis because he outs a couple of problem cards. And he is also big, and he can like get OTKs rolling. But you only want to play him against specific decks, and usually going second. So in general, he's pretty good. And it makes your opponent play really weirdly, too. And the last card, Evenly Matched. The best trap card Nekroz can play. Evenly Matched plus Trishula is nice. Evenly Matched plus Nadir is nice. Evenly Matched plus the Herald is nice. Evenly Matched is generally nice. So this rounds up the entire deck. If you want to see a quick combo, it's nothing big, but the main like play that you want to do for sequencing is normal summon righty, special the lefty effect to make this level 3. Then you link these, then you synchro these away for your Herald of the Arclight. Sometimes you want to do this a little bit later and first resolve your Nekroz engine, because this will actually cause your Nekroz engine to be banished instead of being sent to graveyard. And that's really, that can hinder your grind game sometimes. And then you want to like activate the Deer Servant, activate your Pot of Prosperity, and whatever, and see your broken cards. And this is how you're going to play around hand traps 90% of the time. This causes you to be pretty strong against Droll. This also gives you a search when this is going, so you're not losing that much. And it actually makes, if your opponent has a hand trap, this plus this is Maximus plus Unicorn. Because you get to search a Brionac off it, and Maximus gets to search the Unicorn off it. And the Brio search the Klaus, search the Kaleidoscope, and then you're all good. Okay, so this covers the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See ya.